All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Skill Up Show. Who is with me? Who is in the house? Welcome to the Skill Up Show on this Wednesday. Oh, today is Tuesday. All right, so the Skill Up Show is that show that we actually have this show on Mondays, right? But yesterday we were unable to go live, and here we are today. Welcome to the Skill Up Show, where today we'll be looking at how you can teach your children financial responsibility. How do we make our children become financially responsible? How do we point them to the things that will help them become knowledgeable in this area, and of course help them become children who have the money, the right money culture, the right mindset around, wealth creation, money, and entrepreneurship? How do you play your role as a parent in this part of your child's life? Welcome to the show today. My name is Maribeth Chima, and I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resources. I always like to add that I'm the proud matron of the Mastermind Circle, a peer mentorship and accountability group where we work with parents and their children to help the children take the front stage in their own lives. We need to help our children understand as early as possible. Hey, Grace, how are you doing? It's good to have you. If you are here, please don't just be in the background. Please let us see you in the comments so we know that we have you with us. If you are watching us on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, what are you waiting for? Why don't you go ahead and click on the subscription button so that you will get notified every time we drop one of our resources. We're always dropping resources in that channel. We have, I don't even know, we have so many resources that dates back to about 4 or 5 years, and you can use that to enrich yourself and empower yourself on your parenting journey. If you are joining us on my timeline today, let us know that you are here also. Do you have a friend? Do you have a colleague or a loved one that needs to learn from what we share on Facebook? Why don't you go ahead and tag them? Tag them particularly for this session so that they can come and be a part of what we do what we're doing today and what we do in that community. All right, so awesome. Today I'm going to start by saying that the advantage of a parent, right? The advantage of a parent, who you are as a parent, the advantage that you avail your child by virtue of the fact that you are their parent is the most constant predictor of your child's success in life. I am going to say that again. There are many other things that will come up. There are many other things that would happen that will help your child be successful. But the most constant predictor of your child's success in life is the advantage that you give to them as their parent. So, what does this tell you as a parent? It tells you straight up that you are the singular most influential person in your child's life. Why would you be that? Because first of all, you are the first person that your child is going to know, whether you are their biological parent or you are that person that was there from the very beginning, or that person that was there earliest in their life, or that person who is playing that role in their life today. You are the first person that your child is going to see the world through. So basically, in the first 3 years, the first 5 years of their lives, the time where their mindsets, their beliefs, their ideology, their understanding of the world is being built, the time that the child is interacting and understanding the world that the child belongs to, or the world that the child is in. At that period, you happen to be the person that is in the child's life at that time. No wonder the psychologists say that a child, each of us is a sum total of the environment where we were raised, the people who raised us and what the people who raised us knew. So basically, you cannot give what you do not have. So the sum total of your experiences as a human being are the things that you have encountered in life. You do not know what you have not encountered by way of living it, seeing it, reading about it, or being a part of it. So you cannot understand or live out what you have not experienced, basically. And in the first 5 years of your child's life, the time where their brain development is at its most rapid state, is at its most authentic state, this is the time that you were fully present in their life. So no, whether you like it or not, whether you are intentional or not, whether you wanted to or you didn't, your child is going to reflect who you are as a parent, because basically the culture and community. Oh, yes, you are that person that is most influential. At least person, or where it matters the most. Now, if anything in life, it will be from a conscious place where the person, no, sorry about this. All right, when the person has actually had to go back and evaluate their experiences, their where you're coming from, and of course would intentionally decide to start unlearning what it is that they have picked from you as a parent. And I promise you, it's not the easiest thing to do. So that's why when you hear us say reparenting yourself, that's what we're talking about. Because at some stage in our lives, we'll realize, oh, okay, our parents did so much, but maybe, I mean, they could have done better here, or they could have done better there, and so I need to reparent myself in that area. And even for those of us who have done that in many areas of our lives, we can tell you for free that it's not the easiest thing to do, to reparent yourself. So that's why when we preach today, we go on and on and on, and we say, parents, why don't we do our best to raise children who do not have to reparent themselves? Because it's not the best gift that you want to give your child. All right, so let's move on. Now, let me also add here that the financial status of a parent is not a criteria, or at least it's not the determining, right, criteria for raising a child who is financially smart, a child who is entrepreneurial, that is entrepreneurial minded, all right, or a child who is successful in life. That you are poor, or that you are rich, or that you are middle class is not that. It's not what would determine whether your child will be financially smart, whether your child will have the entrepreneurial mindset, or whether your child will turn out successful. In fact, studies have shown, if you look, you don't even have to go to what the psychologists or other people have studied. If you look around you, see the people we have around us, the people that the world around today, go back and look at their backgrounds, you will find that many of them came from humble beginnings. Many of them came from poor homes. So most times when you look around successful people who have changed the world, impacted the world, or done something really great that we're still talking about today, you realize that in many cases, they're people from rich and established homes, or people from humble beginnings. So we find that people from middle class, a lot of times, middle class parents do not churn out very successful people, or people who end up changing the world. All right, you can argue with this one, it's not even a fact. Okay, it is a personal opinion, and one that has been discussed in many areas, and we will be looking at why some of us probably think like that, or are looking at it like that. Let's look at it together. That's why you are in this class. All right, so as I said, it's not about how financially equipped, it's not about how rich or poor, or how much of a middle class parent you are, all right, that would determine whether you can raise a child who is financially smart, a child who is financially intelligent, or a child who is entrepreneurial. What's the word? Entrepreneur minded. All right. It's not. Okay. It is more this way. If you are a visionary parent, it's a visionary parent who raises a child who is financially skilled, intelligent, or who has the entrepreneur mindset. It takes a visionary parent to raise a child with an entrepreneur mindset, to raise a child who is financially smart or intelligent, to raise children who turn out to be successful in all ramification. All right. Now, so let's look at who this visionary parent is. Who is a visionary parent? A visionary parent is that parent that takes their time to visualize. So the parent who actually stops to think of, who am I raising and where do I want to see this child, and what kind of child would I want to see when my child is perhaps 18, when they are 20, when they are 25, or when they are 30. The parent who actually stops to create a picture of who it is that he wants to raise, who it is, what it is I want to see in my child when my child is perhaps 26. Now, what that does to you is, when you're able to visualize the 26-year-old that you want to raise, it's like, wanting to build a structure, build your dream home. Of course, to build your dream home, you must have visualized it and created a picture of it in your head, right? So yes, you create that picture, you visualize it even before you put the foundation of that structure. It's the same thing with the kind of children that we want to raise. You should be able to visualize who it is. Now, after that vision becomes clear, that's what a vision is anyway. When it becomes clear, then what you're doing is you now come back to where you are. You come back and look at the person that you have. You come back and look at the child that you have. And then you begin to ask yourself, what can I do based on who this child is, based on the strength that this child has got, based on the gifts that God has given this child, based on the capacity that this child has, based on all of this, based on who my child is. Is this a child that is challenged? Is this child challenged physically? Is this child challenged in any way? Does this child have this weakness? Whatever it is, you are paying attention to the child that you have, not the child that you wished that you have. So it is going to be based on who you have that you are now going to see, how do I support this child? How do I work with this child? Who do I need to partner with? What do I need to establish? What boundaries do I need to create? What goals do I need to set? What plans do I need to put in place in order for me to work with this child to achieve that vision that I have seen? The other thing the visionary parent does is, asks themselves is, how do I make this child believe in the vision that I see? Now, in many cases, these are the two things that we don't do. A lot of us do not do. Or these are the things that our parents didn't do. Not because our parents are bad people, not because our parents are, illiterate, even if they were, but simply because our parents didn't know any better. Because our parents came from that place also, where some of us still are, where we think that you don't teach us how to parent. We will parent by our gut instinct. We will parent as they do us, because somewhere in our head we think that our children are our property. So I would do with them as I wish, simply because. All right. So this is what it takes to be a visionary parent. So a visionary parent is that parent who can visualize, right? The visionary parent is that parent who can now strategize to meet their vision. The visionary parent is that parent who can now plan towards that vision. The visionary parent is that parent who respects and understands the child that they are working with. So it means that the vision for each of your children is going to be different, or the strategy to reach the vision that you have seen for each of your children is going to be different. So you may see about the same vision or a vision that looks alike for each of your children, but you probably would not have to use the same strategy for each child because each child is different. Now, these are the tedious job of parenting. These are the tedious part of parenting that a lot of us do not want to see, we do not want to go through. And so, because we want to do, or we want to use only the templates that some other person has created for us some 30, 40, or 45, or 50, 60 years ago. We want to, because we want to use something that someone has created. So we stick to what it is. And so we ask the question, me, did they do it for me? Me, did they teach me? Me, did they this? Did they do that? And then we end up with that phrase that most of us use when we do not want to be accountable. We now say, didn't we turn out right? Did we? All right. So a visionary parent is a parent who is realistic, right, about time and isn't entitled. A visionary parent understands that the time that he has is the time that he owns. The time that he has today is the only time there is. The visionary parent is not entitled, because it is entitlement for you as a parent, even as you call yourself a Christian, a Muslim, or someone who believes in God. It is entitlement that makes you forget that your life is in the hands of the Almighty, and He will call you when He wants to call you. And so, if you're a visionary parent, you will realize that the time that you have today is the time that you have to support and help your children reach their full potential by equipping them every day. So each day is an opportunity to equip your child. So a visionary parent does not wait until the child is 12 to teach them how to learn money. He doesn't wait until the child finishes university to take them to the plant and show them how it works. He doesn't wait till the child is 30 to show him how the family business. No, a visionary parent works with every day, using every day as an opportunity, teaching the child in the way that is age appropriate, that the child can understand. So a visionary parent is a parent who understands and respects time and does not go about like their life is in their hands. A visionary parent is not afraid to die because he knows that he will die someday. And so the reality of that is what makes him or her understand that they have an assignment to help their children become why they are. So the visionary parent makes use of time and takes advantage of every moment as a teachable opportunity. The visionary parent is empathetic. The visionary parent is empathetic, and he is not in any way assumptuous. The visionary parent understands that you do not make demands of a child of something that you have not taught them. The visionary parent understands that you do not place a demand on a skill that you have not taught. And so that is why the visionary parent understands that if financial education or if financial matters is one that is important to us as human beings, then the first place where the child should learn it should be from home. So the visionary parent understands that the child is not going to learn it in the sky. The child is not going to learn it from just seeing every other person, because hey, it's not as if there is one size that fits all out there. Neither is it as if every education you have there is the right education. So the visionary parent gives or takes advantage of the law of first mention, to be the first one to mention to their child, to be the first one to point their child to the right perspective, to share their perspective with the child, to be the first one to point the child to what aligns with their family value as far as this particular part of life is concerned. So the visionary parent takes advantage of the law of first mention, so that the first time your child is going to learn about this thing. He's going to learn it from you, the way you see it. After all, it is you that God gave the child to, isn't it? You are the one that was given custody. You are a custodian. Your job or your role as a parent is to teach. Your role is to guide. Your role is to point the child in the way that the child would go. Isn't that what should go? Isn't that what scripture says? It said that you should train up a child in the way that they should go. When they grow, they will not depart from it. He did not say when you train the child today, you must insist. That's why I said empathy. He says you train it. When they grow, they won't depart from it. So even scripture has said, teach, train, and keep training. Be on the task. Be on it for as long as it takes. When they grow, they will not depart from it. So a visionary parent understands, as I said, that he doesn't make demands of a skill that he has not taught. He understands that as he teaches that skill and he continues to teach that skill, the child will learn. In that, he is empathetic because he knows that the child will make mistakes on the way. He knows that the child will fall on the way. He knows that the child will get distracted on the way. But the visionary parent doesn't stop because he knows that eventually, when the child grows, they will not depart from it. So this applies to every other thing as much as it applies to financial education and helping your child understand how to be financially responsible. If you're with me on this call, let me see you in the comment section. Let me know that I have company. If you're catching the replay, also let us know where you are joining us from, where you're catching the replay from. All right. So the visionary parent, the examples of the visionary parents all around us. So the visionary parent is a parent who prepares the child every day on how to navigate life on their own, knowing full well that he is not in charge of his own life. And even if you were present, who told you that your role is to micromanage another human being? Remember, you are a custodian, meaning you're the one who gives protection. You're the one who guides. You're the one who directs. You're the one who sets the boundary. It didn't say that you are the one who insists on living the other person's life. So the visionary parent guides and directs you on the way that you should go, helps the child navigate the world, whether they are there or whether they are not there. So the role of a visionary parent understands that the child needs to be responsible for every level of their life. So the visionary parent prepares the child for the easy terrain. He prepares the child for the tough terrain. He prepares the child for good days, and he prepares the child for rainy days. The visionary parent prepares the child for all seasons. That is who a visionary parent is. The visionary parent is the parent who understands that when a person is equipped, there is no need to be afraid. A visionary parent is not afraid. A visionary parent knows and is. A visionary parent knows and is, what's the word? Is confident because of the work that they have put into their child. So the visionary parent is that parent who knows that today is a time when you do the job. Because most of the time, the reason that we are afraid as parents, most of the time, the reason that we cannot allow our children go and be sure that they are fine, the reason that we take the role of God and leave our role to God is because we did not do the needful at the time when we need to do the needful. Our roles. It is God's role to protect your child. It is God who protects. It is God who keeps. It is God who saves. It is God who guides. So that's why we wake up in the morning and we put our life in his hands, because it is God who owns our life. It is the role of a parent to parent the child. God doesn't parent children. So when you hear those phrases like, you don't know this, it is God that we decide. No, God did not. He does not. I say it. Yes. Quote me anyway. God does not parent children. If he parented children, there would have been no need for Jesus to be put in a regular family. There would have been no need for Jesus to be put in a regular family where he had to learn manners, where he had to learn all of these things. If God parented children, you remember Eli, right? You remember Eli, when Eli the priest Eli, the pastor, you don't understand. Eli, the priest and pastor, and his children were there stealing the offerings and all of that. What did God do to Eli? Was Eli not smoked? Because he couldn't control his children. If God thought it was his duty, if he thought it was a duty to parents, Eli was doing the work of God. Come on. Eli was a great mentor to Samuel, isn't it? He was Samuel's mentor. He was great at it. But being a mentor to Samuel did not mean that Eli was a good parent. So no, your job is to parent. God's job is to protect. So a visionary parent understands this role, that their job is to parent their child. And so let's share some example of some visionary parents. Okay. So I was listening to a video. I was watching a video that Festus, right? What's his name now? The Coach Charis, founder of Coach Charis, right? Festus Nduka, right? Is that his name? Yes. I was watching a video that, he was talking about how he was raised and all of that. And he talked about how when he was about 6 years old, or thereabouts, right? Of course, he was from a very poor home. Very, very poor home. He didn't even go to school at all, right? He said how his mother would sell akara, and then he would have to sell. Of course, you sell, and he would have to be the one to sell, or probably give it to the people who were buying and all of that. And early, when he was young, his mother said to him that every time, as in that you have it, his mother told him that you have the gift inside of you, that there is no one that you sell to that will not buy from you. And according to him, he took that and he ran with that. And so when he goes to buy or when he goes to sell and you approach him, and then after pricing his stuff, you do not buy. As you are going, he will hold you back and he will tell you, man, you need to buy. My mom says, anybody who sees me buys from me. So with that, people will laugh and, they will buy a bit from him and all of that. And according to him, Cosmos Maduka, sorry, thank you. All right. So according to him, sorry, that's his name, Cosmos Maduka, right? Thank you very much. So according to him, that was the one thing that propelled him in life, knowing that this business, wherever I did, I go. I know that as far as I put my hand on something that I sell, people will buy. But guess what? It didn't mean that he started making fake things. It didn't mean that he started relaxing and lying to himself. That, something, let me just relax. Anything I take. No. He also recognized that part of the word of God, whether he knew it or not. That principle that when you are diligent, you will sit in the company of kings, whether physically or the products that you have will sit in the company of kings. It is the power of a visionary mother, Akara selling visionary mother. It is the same vision that Serena and what's her name? The Williams sisters. It's the same vision that their father had. Was he an international or global tennis coach? No, he wasn't. Was he even doing well? No, but he knew that he wanted to raise girls that will be superstars. And so when they were 2 years old or what, he put a racket in their hands. And he didn't just put rackets in their hands. He put racket in their hands, knowing that the world would know them through those rackets in their hands. What are we talking about? It takes a visionary parent. It doesn't matter whether you've got money or you've not got money. It doesn't. It's the same thing that perhaps Beyonce's parents did. Oh, the teacher said she knows how to sing. She's always singing at home and doing all the tutu. Okay, now come. Let us turn this thing into something. And so the father started training her, homeschooled her. You know something? This thing will not happen. You will not work with school. Let's do the school at home so that we can put visionary parents are the ones. What did Mark Zuckerberg's parents do? When the father realized he was tinkering with every computer in his office, he will come, he will connect this one and connect that one. Oh, there's something in there. That's what the father saw. There's something in there. And so what happened? got him a teacher, got him a teacher to come in every week, gave him access to the office. The office was by the house anyway. It takes a visionary parent. His parents were not exactly rich people. We couldn't even call them middle class parents. He was just a dentist, and his wife. Sorry. All right, sorry, I wasn't even using. All right. All right, so let's move. Visionary parent, that's what it takes to raise successful children with financial mindsets, with entrepreneurial mindset. That's what it takes, a visionary parent. So, yes, as a rich parent, it means that your children will have more resources available to them. Your children will have more opportunities. Your children will have more platforms available to them. But it still takes a visionary parent to understand how to navigate this, to understand how to make these things work for the children. So it still brings us back to the visionary parent. Very key. And we've just talked about a few people, some people. Is it Elon Musk? Elon Musk's mother told the story of how by the time her children were 12, every single one of them had a skill that they could make money from. By the time they were 12, every single one. No, it wasn't by chance. It wasn't by chance. It was because it was a strategy. And she says how independence, right? Independence was one thing that she keyed into early. And of course, she keyed into having her children learn to respect other people. We should read the stories of, every time I see a successful person, the first thing that comes to mind is who raised them. I don't know about you. When I hear of successful, who raised them? It's students' parents I'm going to look for. Yeah, the Ikorodu boy that is now that is now doing great things with chess and all of that. We should look at who raised them. All right. So very, very key. Elon Musk, by the time Elon was 12, he was already building softwares. Very, very key. So we need to understand it's not about how much you have, it's how much of a visionary parent you are. This is it. Now let's talk briefly about three things that can mess up our children's financial, the ability to be financially responsible. All right. One of the three things that can mess up our children's ability to be financially responsible is, I said that in a post that I wrote today, right? The middle class parent syndrome, right? The middle, it's not something that exists there, something that I coined out myself. So it's a middle class parent syndrome. Now, who is a middle class parent? All right, let's just break it to a layman's. If you go on Google, you probably tell you who exactly a middle class parent is, what they should be earning, and all of that, what lifestyle you should have before you can, call yourself a middle class parent. But off the top of our head, middle class parent is that parent who has a good home, ability, some spending power, ability, to you have a good job, or you have something that you earn, some steady, income, and all of that. Now, so what happens a lot of time with middle class parents is this. Most of us, or most middle class parents, are people who came from who themselves came from middle class homes or from poor homes, and somehow got motivated. So that's what you find amongst middle class parents. You have people who are probably driving themselves because of where they're coming from. They've probably, seen what it means to be poor, or seen what it means to grow up in a poor home, and then they push themselves, and then here they are, good jobs, good businesses, or something like that, and they're doing better. Children from illiterate homes who decided, against all odds, that they will get educated, so that they can have a better life. So the middle class parent is that parent who's driven himself, and then he's reached that point. Now, the middle class parent gets to the point, and then children, his own children come. Now, what happens to the middle class parents when their children come is, I want my children not to see the kind of suffering that I saw. So somewhere at the back of the mind of the middle class parent is, I have to do everything within my power to ensure that my children do not see the kind of life that I had. I have to do everything in my power to provide for my children what my parents did not provide for me. I have to do everything within my power never to know lack or the poverty that I knew in the past. So the middle class parent is constantly trying to prove a point, constantly trying to prove himself, constantly afraid of poverty, constantly afraid of being seen or being in that place where he cannot do what he has to do. All of this, not a bad thing. But what it does is, the middle class parent ends up with this whole rat race system. Parent ends up in a rat race such that he does not have time to parent the next generation. I said that in a post this morning, and I said, don't argue with me in the page, come to the class, let's talk. So the middle class parent ends up trying to make ends meet, ends up trying to be rich. It is a lifelong goal to become rich for the middle class parents. So he is constantly, it's a rat race. Kitty, 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 kitty. That's why it's among the middle class people that you find people who have terminal illnesses. The middle class parent is the one who doesn't sleep. The middle class parent is the one who wants to prove a point. I need to move. I need to become. So he is the one who neglects everything that is important because he needs to prove a point either to himself or to other people. So the middle class parents gets, as I said, engrossed in this rat race and forgets to raise their child. So it's the middle class parent who gets the lesson teacher. He's the one that doesn't have a minute to spend with their child to help them learn the things that he knows. He's the one that doesn't have the time to sit down and have fun or play with his children. He is making ends meet. The middle class parent is the one that is so smart. He's the one in that establishment that is practically running the operation of that place. Remember, he's the one that needs to prove a point. He's the one that needs to be rich. He's the one that needs money. While the owner is chilling, all of it good things. But all at the expense of the next generation, at the expense of his children. So the rich CEO is the one who makes time to go on vacation with his kids. Can you remember? He's on vacation because the middle class parent is making ends meet, working and grinding for his company to do well. The rich parent is the one who shows up for every single little small thing happening in their child's life. Didn't you see Otedola the other day dancing? Otedola was dancing with his old daughter that is married to do a TikTok video. Middle class father does not have time for that. I'm making money. You're telling me to come and dance. No. Otedola is dancing. The other time he posted and he said he posted to congratulate his daughter for making how many subscribers. People that do not understand the language of royalty, that do not understand the language of the wealthy will be like, now they don't have any problem now. That is her. He's congratulating her because she has followers. You don't understand. You don't understand. You won't understand. We won't understand. A lot of people won't understand. So it is the rich parent who has time to goof around with their child, has time to vacation with them, has time to listen to them, has time for all of this. When we talk, a lot of us will come and say, they have what they need now. Why do they have to? But do you know that you can grind and grind? It is not the grinding that will put you in a position of that kind of person. No, it is not by grinding that you become the Otedolas and the Dangotes of this world. It's not exactly by grinding, isn't it? We should know this by now. So what are we saying? We're saying if you are not careful about this middle class syndrome, you will do this rat race, and before you know it, boom, one day you will wake up and your children are 20 and you have not contributed actively, effectively into what they know, who they are, and who they are becoming. Very, very essential. So it's the middle class syndrome. All right. The other thing that will mess up our ability to raise our children to be financially responsible is pop culture. So if you're a parent who isn't doing the needful, pop culture is going to sell a narrative to your child of what it means to be wealthy. Pop culture is going to tell your child that if you need a breakthrough, you need to enroll for sister show where you have to wear half clothing, you have to have a good heart and open your whole body for how many billion people to see just because you need a breakthrough in life. Pop culture is going to tell your child that that is what is okay. Pop culture is going to tell your child that confidence is in turning everything you are to the size that you want it. And that is how you become confident. And that's how people will see you. And that's how you begin to roll with the wealthy class. That's what pop culture is going to tell your child. Your child is going to mistake what celebrities do for the cameras to be what reality is, when this isn't even the reality of these celebrities. But because you are not there to point them to the right or to the left, you are not there beyond paying school fees for them to go to school, sitting down and paying school fees, basically driving them to church and back, and probably making sure there's food at home. So who is going to tell your child that who you see on screen is different from how these people live their life? Who is going to break down the small things, the silly things to your children so that your children understand that life is beyond what meets them on social media? Who is going to do that? If you are the parent who is making ends meet, who is going to do that? So we find out that we're raising children in homes when nobody's talking about the small things. Nobody's talking about the silly things. Nobody's talking about the things around that is what your children see as reality. I hope you know that your reality is different from the reality that our children see today. Our reality coming from where we're coming is different from what these children see. What matters to your children is the number of likes. What matters to your children? I was watching a video yesterday. I stumbled on a video yesterday where two young girls were in a hotel, and as usual with TikTok videos or whatever, they actually went like, yeah, they paid 300,000 naira for one night in a hotel. And so on camera, they were stealing every item in that hotel room. And it was cruise for them. They were stealing every towel, every single thing that made sense in the hotel room. They packed into their bag, and they were having a hell of a time while they were having a nice time while they were doing it, laughing and giggling. And it was a TikTok video. Now the truth is that could be them just goofing around. It could just be a joke, but your 12-year-old that is watching that video with the iPhone that you have gifted them because they are now 12, 13, or 16. Oh, they finished junior YA, they should have a phone. All their friends have a phone. That you have gifted them this. He's watching this video and you are saying, oh, they're just catching crows. Or you are laughing because it's funny to you. I don't know why. But then again, this is what your child thinks that, or would likely think that is okay that people do when they go to hotel rooms. And then you now go down there and you see all the negative, all the comments, in those kind of posts. These are the comments that keep your children engaged. So when you see your child, you go into the room, your 13, your 14-year-old is there with their phone till 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and you have to go and fight. You have to seize the phone. What do you think they are engrossed in? Is reading those comments that do not empower them in any way. So these are things that we're talking about. Pop culture will make a mess It's one of those things that will make our children financially irresponsible. It tells them that all you need is one big break. It tells them that money is everything. So that's why you see celebrities. Someone says a comment, and then the next thing celebrities will say, you can stay there and be hungry. You can, it's always pointing at, if you are not like us, you are hungry. If you are not like us, I mean, if you do not think what we are or what we do is okay, it means that you are poor and you are hungry. So this is the reason that people will go to party and hold money in front of them and be throwing out bunch of money. And this is what your child is seeing. This is what pop culture is going to teach your child. This is what social media is going to teach your child. This is what the celebrities that your children follow will teach your child. This is what they're going to show to your child, that is what money is, or what wealth is. So at the end of the day, all that your children think about wealth is not what you create, is what you have can buy. Dear parents, you should, I mean, this is just nothing. What I'm saying here is just a 45-minute, 1-hour story, right? I have a master class. Cheap is the cheapest you can get. But what I have, or what we have loaded for you in that masterclass. Now look at it this way, that this masterclass is a masterclass because, I mean, it's a class. We do masterclasses every now and then. Now, this is one class to help you, parents, to see things. Now, I'm not coming here to come and teach you. I'm not even in the place to come and teach you about money as for how you can be rich, okay? I'm not Dangote's. No, why am I even calling? I'm not Awoshika. So don't worry, I'm not coming to teach you about how to make money, not at all. What I want to teach you, or what we are going to be teaching you, I'm going to bring someone to. What I'm going to be teaching you in that class, or what we are going to be, the conversation we're going to be having in that class, is how you can raise children with a powerful, abundant mindset. How you can raise children who will believe in the vision that you have. Believability, because it's not easy to help your child believe in the vision that you have for them, all right? Especially when you are pointing at financial intelligence and financial, abundance, basically. I wrote a story today, and I was talking about how someone who hadn't seen our son for a long time saw him and was amazed. And I was thinking it was because he's grown so big. I'm like, oh yeah, they grow so fast. And the person was like, no, not that. The fact that when I saw him last, he was selling this juice, and that was 3-4 years ago. And as a big boy, he's 14 now, I see him still selling, still running a business 4-5 years later. And the person asked me, do you know what it takes to run a business for 4 years or 5 years? I don't care what kind of business it is. And he said, how did you do it? And I said, you know something? It's a lot. He's making it his journey. It's believability. Because it's not as if we have any leech. It's not even our business. It's his. He started it. He brought it and asked us to help him. And we supported him. And at every point, it is optional. It is right there. If you're ready to stop, go ahead and stop. In fact, as a way to punish him when his account is not balancing, or he's not doing accounts, or he loses money, we just say to him, you need to stop. You need to stop. And you see him not ready at all to stop. Not ready at all to stop. So if there's anyone that should be telling you about believability, if there's anyone that should be telling you about helping your child have the mindset of creating wealth, if there's anyone that should be telling you this, then look at me. I'm the one that should be telling you this. That masterclass is $1K, $1 alone. Hop in. Let's have a real conversation where we're talking for a whole 2 hours. Maybe I'll make it 2 days. No, maybe drop, but just come in where you will have an expert speak with you, and someone who understands. I'm bringing an expert, and then someone who understands believability and how you can inspire your child to the point that the child begins to believe in themselves. Come on. So go ahead and enroll for that class. We will have the detail of that in the description on YouTube. Go there and use that link to pay. It's just 1,000 naira. Please jump in. I should see over how many of you in that class. Okay, and the class is in 5 days or 6 days time. All right, so yes, and on Facebook, just check in the comment section after this session, and you will see a link or a bank account where you can pay to be a part of that class. It takes believing you for your child it takes believing in that vision that you see, right, for your child to actually believe in it too. All right. And then, of course, it takes consistency. The power of consistency. What is it that you are saying that will make a whole blown teenager still believe in something that they started doing right from when they were 9? So it's a whole journey. All right. So that's why you need to. The third thing that is going to confuse your child is the fact that you are not giving them the opportunity to be responsible. So children who are not responsible ordinarily will not be responsible financially. And what does responsibility mean? Responsibility means being able to navigate on your own, being able to make informed decisions, being able to manage yourself and manage your time. All right. So if you're not raising children from the beginning who are responsible, if you do not start teaching responsibility as early as possible, then you will struggle with having to raise children who are responsible, financially responsible. All right, so guys, go to the last part of this. Yes, let's go to the last part of this class where we'll be looking at 5 things. I like to give 5 things. Okay, so remember that this Skill Up Show is the Skill Up Show is a short show where we come and we give you tips, and point you to things that you can do to support your child. But the Skill Up Show is just a bit. You cannot parent your child based on little bits here and tips here that you have. To parent your child effectively, you have to commit to a system. You have to commit to a learning process. You have to commit to building systems in your home. And very important, you have to help your children begin to see the role that they play in their own lives, and then help your children begin to make baby steps. So your children need to start getting involved actively in their own lives. So do you have 6-year-olds? Do you have 8-year-olds? Do you know that there are programs where you can put the children, where the children begin to make baby steps towards self-development, baby steps towards self-management, baby steps towards leadership, financial literacy, awareness, baby steps towards understanding their innate, abilities, their gifts, their talents. This is what we do with children in the Mastermind Circle. The Mastermind Circle is a peer mentorship and accountability group where we work with children between 6 and 14. Our goal in the Mastermind is to raise children who can direct themselves, children who understand the role they play in their lives, children who can begin to set goals for themselves. We help them plan to achieve those goals, and of course, we help them achieve those goals. And while they're at it, they are building skills, executive functioning skills, skills that give them higher knowledge and the ability to operate from a higher level. Okay, in the Mastermind, we raise leaders, children who begin to lead themselves, who understand what it means to, support other people. These are the things we do in the Mastermind. Children leading themselves, children honoring their parents, honoring themselves, and honoring the people in their life. Children who understand the place of mentorship and begin to take baby steps towards allowing people hold them accountable. If you want to raise a child in this generation that will self-destruct, then raise a child who does not understand accountability. The one singular thing that will mess up any human being is the fact that you don't see yourself as accountable to anybody. You're not accountable to God. You're not accountable to superior knowledge. You're not accountable to a mentor. You're not accountable to anything. What you're doing, dear parents, is you're setting up a child that will not be accountable even to you as their parents. All they need to do is get to the place or get to the point in their life where you do not control, you do not pay the bills anymore. You're not responsible for how they exist or how they live, basically. And at that point, when they begin to call the shots, it means you can hold them accountable and no other person. So a person that is not held accountable, that is not accountable to anybody, is a freelancer, or what do you call it? is someone who can do as they like, do as they like, do as they wish, and nobody can question them. Think about it. Just think about it. Even a president is questioned by the law of the land. So think, I mean, why do you think we have tyranny in Africa? Why do you think we have the dictators that we have? It's because of the way we are raised. When we are raised to think that the person on top is not accountable to anybody. The person that is on top cannot, should not be accountable. So that's why African leaders get there and not even the law can hold them accountable. They saw it at home. Nobody could hold their fathers accountable. Nobody could tell their fathers what to do. Their fathers were lord and masters. So when they become being governors and become presidents, they become lord and master, and the country becomes their home. I say it every time. Do you know that your home is your local government? So the way that you present leadership in your home is the picture of leadership that your child is going to see. So the day he becomes the leader at any level, he's going to run it the way you run your home. All right. So very key. We need to understand that we are models to our children. When they become leaders, they will tap in and operate from the experiences that they have. And you cannot give what you do not have. The experience you have is what you have experienced. And dear parents, the only leader, the real leader that your child has experienced is the leader, dear father, that you are. The leader, dear mother, that you are. This is who you are modeling to your child. All right. So let's go. 5 things that you need to do to make your child responsible. Number 1, you need to have a financial blueprint that your children, what's your financial blueprint as a family? All right. What are your money beliefs? What are your money ideology? What are those things that your children heard? What did they see consistently growing up? How empowering how well did you empower your child as a parent where abundance is concerned? Are you the parent who constantly delivered a scarcity mentality to your child? If this is who you are, or this is what your home was like, I promise you, this is what your child is going to be. For some of us parents, our children do not know what it means to be in an abundance place. The only abundance that they know when money is concerned is what money can buy. So the strength of wealth that your children know is currency, just what money can buy. And so, yeah, you're a big celebrity. You can fly jets. You can pay for this. You can buy big chains. You can buy this. You can buy that. Your children do not understand the power of the fact that you are in a position, and all you need to do is to say, oh, I need to be supported, and the whole world rises up for you. Your children do not understand that you are that person, that all you need to do is to show up and the whole world stands still, because you are wealthy in influence. You are wealthy by the people that you have impacted. You're wealthy by the things that you have created that is a solution in the lives of people. I say to parents every time, we take this for granted. Especially for middle class parents, you take it for granted. But the truth about it is, your child does not see you. They can't say these things. They don't know these things. They can't even give it words. But it is all in their mind. It is all in the subconscious mind. Your child does not see you as a role model. Why? Your child does not know that you win. Your child hasn't seen you win. You wake up in the morning, you carry your car, you carry your laptop, you jump in there, you drive out and you drive in. They know you go somewhere and they know you come back. What are you winning at? What example of what it means to win do you have? What is it that your child can look at and say, I want to be like my father. I want to be like your mother. What exactly is he looking at that is making him say he wants to be like you? He wants to drive your kind of car? Wealth of currency. He wants to be able to buy things as you buy. Wealth of currency. He wants to be able to do what? He wants to be able to buy tickets to travel. wealth of currency. If your children cannot see you, cannot see your process, cannot see what you do, cannot see how you're impacting the world, cannot see how you're making a difference, cannot see in tangible terms what you are creating, then it makes it very hard for them to see in tangible terms what it is that you are winning out. So your children, it's going to be vague to them, basically, in their subconscious mind, what it is that you do. So when you hear people like Mark Zuckerberg say that they bring the children into the office, they bring them to work with them sometimes to understand what it is that they do, you think these people are silly or they are stupid? You need to come to that class, because these are the principles that we are going to be looking at, the things that you need to put in place, that your children begin to see you as role models. The way you look and you say to your child, I am proud of you. At what point is your child going to look at you, their parents, and say, I am proud of you? Because there has to be something tangible that they will see for them to say, I am proud of you. Very, very key. So what are your financial blueprints? For some of us, the only time our children hear, or the time that our children keep hearing from us, Daddy, can I don't have money. Mommy, can I don't have money. Oh, you think I pick money on the tree? If you do not pass, I will tell you, after all the money I'm wasting, you're wasting. You're wasting. So this is the mindset. You make the fact that they go to school and they need to do well seem like something that they need to pay back to you. They don't owe you that. They didn't ask you to put them in school. They didn't even ask you to go and pay 1 million or how many million you're paying in that school that is biting you and you cannot allow them rest. They didn't ask. I'm telling you, if you take these children to community primary school, they will go. They don't know all of these things that you place on these things is you. It's not them. You are the one. It's your ego. You are the one that needs to tell your children they go to a certain kind of. It is you. It's not them. It's not them. It's not them. So it's very key. Very, very important. All right. So the blueprint that you have in your home. How do you speak about money? What do you say? What is it? Very key. All right. Number two, independence. If your children do not understand the place of independence, if they do not understand the place of being able to do things for themselves, if all that your children understand is that money does things, this is the kind of mindset that they will always have. So your life is going to depend on whether there is money. You cannot play with your children because there is no money. You cannot hang out with your children, there is no money. You cannot buy nothing, there is no money. You cannot do anything, there is no money. Everything is centered on money. You are serving the God of money. This is the only reason why you want to reduce your family to money. So it is money that will determine whether you have fun as a family, whether there is joy in your home, whether there is peace in your home. And so when you are broke, the whole house is literally shaking because you serve the God of money. So everything rises and sinks on top money. So how do you call that family? Money. What do we do with money? Transaction. So your family becomes a transactional family. When there is money, there's happiness. I hear people, oh, the only time you see me that I know this thing is when there's no money. When there's no money, I'm unhappy. When there's no money, there was a time in my life where I was somewhere there, maybe not exactly there per se, but it was a time that the presence or the absence of money determined a lot in my life. But I've walked that journey to the point. We all want money. Why not? Money is important. Don't even get twisted. As I'm saying this, I work for money. I do a lot for money. I want money. Please come and buy my books. I want money. Okay? Come and buy the things that I have. I want money. All right? But let's not turn and reduce everything to money, because there are so many things that are much more important that money becomes the fruits, of those things, basically. So you don't want to present to your children that whole money thing, like everything. So that's why some of us, we already have 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds who are constantly profiling people. The uncles they like are the uncles who have money. The aunties that they like are the ones who give them money. The ones that they look down at are the ones who do not give them money. Everything is money. So the children, oh, this child comes, a new child comes to class, and oh, is a governor and everything, and they begin to rally around him like Koso, like what? They begin to rally around the child. You see your child practically with a servitude mentality around one child because from your home, it's already a thing. You know how you have those friends that when you meet someone, the first thing they tell you, you know who your husband is. Ha ha! You know in Papa B. Ha ha! And you think your children are not listening. So these are the things. When this is you and this is what you present to your child, they begin to have this kind of mentality. But when you raise children who at every point there is a problem, the thing we're looking at is what can we do? What can we do? The other day, for some reason, we missed filling the second gas in my home. And then I was in the room and our son came and said to me, Mommy, I think the gas finished. No way, the gas cannot finish. We always have spare. We always have spare. And I said, go outside. No, there's a spare. And then he goes there, he comes back, it's empty. And I'm like, look for a solution. It's as simple as that. Look for a solution. By the time I came out, there was the charcoal, what do you call it? The charcoal stand right there. And he was making a fire, for goodness sake. Charcoal cooks food too. He does cook food too. And yes, he did. And I finished and I came and we ate and we made like very, very nice meal. What are we talking about? It's the holiday. And your university 20-year-old daughter comes home. And what does she do? She moves from her phone to the television screen, from the television screen to Snapchat, from Snapchat to TikTok, from TikTok to hanging out with her friends. When she's going, you give her 10K and this one and that one, the whole holiday. Not one internship program, not one internship program, not one volunteering, not a single thing. And we say it's okay. Your 13-year-old is writing junior WAEC, is coming home. Not a single thing. And then some of us, when we think about it, oh, they will go to computer school. At what point would they do the things that they need to do with strength, that will build their resilience? At what point would they build resilience? At what point would they build hard work? At what point would they do things that do not come easily? At what point will you help them go through rough terrains? It always has to be soft. And then tomorrow you are not there. The only thing the child knows is the soft life. Why won't he be a gigolo? Why won't he follow every girl that has money? Why won't he look and check social media status before he goes to talk to? Why won't he do all that and more? Why will your daughter not continue to look for what phone the person is carrying? Why would she not even stand on social media and tell people, whatever you do, make sure that you do not marry a poor man, or even if, what are you talking about? Because we have placed our mindset of wealth on the wealth that can be given to us, according to Apostle Selman. That's why we like things like inheritance. We like to hear things like that. We like to hear things like, who would dash me money? I dash you money. I give you an inheritance. We like give me, buy me, gave me. And then they will tell you, oh, the man should. It's all of those things. That's why we tell them, oh, your money is your own, your husband's money. All of those things that we have made, we have made all this cliche that we have made as if is law. They're not law. In many cases, they're not even right. Where is the place of you have solutions inside of you? Dig in and you will find the solutions to the problems. So when our children begin to see themselves as the solution, then they will not think of money as a solution to everything, because it isn't really. All right. Number 3, affirmations. What are you saying to your children? What are you saying to your children? What do your children believe about themselves? The founder of Koshari said his mother affirmed and said to him, Cosmos, everyone you open your mouth to ask to buy from you will buy. There is something that God has given you. I said to my children, we don't get stranded. We don't get stranded because we work hard. We work hard and we know God. So we work hard like it depends on it, and we depend on God as it all like it all depends. So because of that, we want to be stranded. What are you saying? What are you affirming? In the mastermind, the children have affirmation for every theme that we are doing. Everything that we have every month, there's affirmation to it. For it, the children hold on. They say those affirmations every day until they begin to believe it. How are you affirming your children? The other one is financial education. What financial education are you giving your children? Are you just going to assume that they will know? Or are you depending on the school system? I hope you know that the school system will not teach your children a lot of the things that we're talking about. As a matter of fact, the curriculum in the school system is so saturated, especially in Africa, that there is no way for them to add any other thing. You see them when it's time for one exam, they are doing extra lessons and extra lessons. They're trying to cover the curriculum. So, at what point or where are they going to add financial education? Where are they going to add skills? Where are they going to? That's why every time you hear parents say, "Oh, we need to tweak our curriculum. We need to have about your curriculum in your home." How about us tweaking our curriculum in our home as parents, where the real education really happens? How about tweaking the curriculum with the people you collaborate with, the systems that you collaborate with outside the school system to educate your children in the areas that really matter? How about enrolling your child for the mastermind circle where we can work with you in certain areas that will help your children become wholesome, balanced in every area? Talking about the mastermind, we have the mastermind conference. It's a free conference that's coming up in May, from the 10th to the 12th of May. That conference is going to be happening. We're going to be sharing with you the link to join or register for that conference. Don't miss that conference for anything. Do not allow your children miss that conference. If you have children between ages 10 and, okay, that's it. We have it on the screen. Okay, that's not even the mastermind conference. All right, so from ages 7 to 15, then enroll them, right? Just register them. It's free because other people have paid for it for you so that it can be free. But make sure you register to be a part of that conference. All right, just look around in the comments. You should see that, or in the group, all around our platform is everywhere. Go ahead and register your child for the conference. All right, so financial education. We have a financial education course to raise smart kits for the children themselves coming up at the end of May. Enroll your child. By the time we're done with your child, their head will be in the right place where financial education is concerned. Their heads will be in the right place, and then you can continue your empowering or your empowerment from that point. Very, very key. And then the final one is build confidence in your child. If you're going to raise a child who is financially responsible, then you need to raise a confident child who understands who they are, that is self-aware and understand and believes in their ability. Very key. All right, so we have books that will help you. All right, so this amazing book, I wrote this last year. Okay, Young and Money Smart. So you see how I talk about mindset. When I talk finances, I'm more about the mindset, because I know that when the mind is right, every other thing falls in place. And this book is to help your child cultivate the right mindset. You have children 10 and above, this book is for them. Amazing, amazing book. You want your children to start thinking of themselves as people that can change the world right where they are, then this one is for you. No family should not have bedtime stories for champions. It's about young people who are doing amazing things or started doing amazing things right from when they were children. You need to get this book. All your children should read this book. Amazing book. Whether it's cooking that they love to do, whether it's books they like to read, whether it's talking, whether it's creating stuff, all of it, very key. And then young, yes, unlocking excellence. Who told you that your success in life is just in school? It's beyond that. It's many other things that is beyond what you teach in classroom. So unlocking excellence, a student's guide to success beyond the classroom. You want this for every child. And for you who have, okay, and then we have one parenting book, our only parenting book that tells you, how you can support your child in the first 10 years of their lives, basically as a parent, as a new parent, as a parent who has children that age. Amazing, amazing, small but powerful book. All right, then of course we have this one for the little ones from 0 to 10. You want to teach your children, you want to create a stimulating environment in your home, you want to teach your children, tell them stories and help them create amazing activities at home so that the home is a fun place for learning. See all of our books, pretty, lovely done, and just colorful. This, all right, this one tells stories of what Christmas was like when we were growing up. Amazing, amazing book. We don't do books anyhow. The stories are powerful. The quality of our books powerful. Each of our books go for about 4,000. All of this one's 4,000. This one's 3,000, 3,000, and all of that. So you can buy all of our books, all 7 of them, for 28,000 naira, I think, or each of them at different prices. Always look out, you will see. Just let us know. Just say books, and then we'll respond. The team will respond to you, and you can order the one that you want. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you got value from this session. I know you did. Okay, if you have questions or you have anything to share, please share with us in the comment section. Ask your question, and we'll be there to answer. Thank you very much for being a part of this session today, and thank you for allowing us be a part of your parenting journey. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Bye.